Okay.
So let's start with pranam mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ
ॐ
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ
ॐ
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
Let's do the Mangalacharan prayers together. Om
ॐ
Ajnanatimirandasya
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
Jnananjana
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मीलितं
चक्षुरुन्मीलितं
येन
येन
तस्मै
तस्मै
श्रीगुरुवे
श्रीगुरवे
नमः।
नमः।
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
स्थापितं
स्थापितं
येन
येन
भूतले
भूतले
स्वयं
स्वयं
रूपा
रूपः
कदा
कदा
मह्यं
मह्यं
ददाति
ददाति
स्वपदान्तिकम्।
स्वपदान्तिकम्।
वन्देऽहं
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः
श्रीगुरोः
श्रीयुतपदकमलं
श्रीयुतपदकमलं
श्रीगुरून्
श्रीगुरुन्
वैष्णवांश्च
वैष्णवांश्च
श्रीरूपं
श्रीरूपं
साग्रजातं
साग्रजातं सहगणं
सगणरघुनाथान्वितं
रघुनाथान्वितं
तं
तं
सजीवं
सजीवं साद्वैतं
साद्वैतं सावधूतं
सावधूतं परिजनसहितं
परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा
श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान्
कृष्णपादान्
सहगणललिता
सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च।
श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च।
हे
हे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
करुणा
करुणा
सिन्धो
सिन्धो
दीनबन्धो
दीनबन्धो
जगत्पते
जगत्पते
गोपेश
गोपेश
गोपिकान्त
गोपिकान्त
राधाकान्त
राधाकान्त
नमोऽस्तु ते।
नमोऽस्तुते।
तप्त
तप्त
काञ्चन
काञ्चन
गौराङ्गी
गौराङ्गी
राधे
राधे
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते
वृषभानुसुते
देवी
देवी प्रणमामि
प्रणमामि
हरिप्रिये।
हरिप्रिये।
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा
कृपा
सिन्धुभ्य
सिन्धुभ्य
एव च
एव च
पतितानां
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमो
नमो
नमः।
नमः।
नमो
नमः ॐ
विष्णुपादाय
विष्णुपादाय
कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय
कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय
भूतले
भूतले
श्रीमते
श्रीमते
भक्तिवेदान्त
भक्तिवेदान्त
स्वामिन्
स्वामी
इति
इति
नामिने।
नामिने।
नमस्ते
नमस्ते
सरस्वते
सारस्वते
देवे
देवे
गौरवाणी
गौरवाणी
प्रचारिणे
प्रचारिणे
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
निर्विशेषशून्यवादी
पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे।
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे।
जय
जय
श्री
श्री कृष्ण
कृष्ण चैतन्य
चैतन्य
प्रभु
प्रभु
नित्यानंद
नित्यानंद श्री
श्री
अद्वैत
अद्वैत
गदाधर
गदाधर श्रीवास
श्रीवास
आदि
आदि
गौर भक्त
गौरभक्तवृंद।
वृंद। हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्ण
हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्ण
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 कृष्णा
कृष्ण
हरे
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 राम
राम
हरे
हरे
राम
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 हरे
हरे
हरे।
हरे।
श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय, श्री
जय
प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु श्री गोपाल। Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
So we are reading from chapter 9, and last time we started reading about Krishna says that how he is everything. He started explaining some more opulences and how he is everything from 16 or 16th verse. So first he explained about how people worship him, different people. We learn about Mahatma who take shelter of the his divine prakriti, divine nature, the spiritual nature, Daivi Prakriti Mashritaha, and then how others worship him in different ways, like Brahman realization, Paramatma, or the one who worship him as a Vishwato Mukham, the Virata Rupa form. So people who do not accept him as Bhagwan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, some of them they worship him as a impersonal feature, or some of them they worship him as a Paramatma, or some worship him as in the Virat Rup form. But then he explains that he is all pervading. He is everything in the yajna, whatever ritual plus sacrifice offering, everything is he. And then last time we read that he mentioned that Pita Ahamasya Jagato Mata Dhata Pitamaha Vedyam Pavitram Omkara Riksama Yajurevacha, that I am the father of this universe, mother, support, and grandsire. And he is also knowledge. He is the object of knowledge. So he is the ultimate of all the knowledge what we can get anywhere, either in the spiritual world or the material world. He is the one to be known. And that is also the purpose of the Vedas. Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedya, Krishna says in the 15th chapter. And he is also Omkara, the pure syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. And he is also all the Vedas. So today we are going to read another beautiful verse where he says that he gives another few descriptions what he is. So let's read this, and every word here is so deep. We can talk about each word, what he describes at length, but we'll try to cover as many as possible. So let's recite the verse. Gatir bhartā prabhuḥ sākṣī.
gatir bhartā prabhuḥ sākṣī.
nivāsaḥ śaraṇaṁ suhṛt.
nivāsaḥ śaraṇaṁ suhṛt.
prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ
prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ
nidhānaṁ bījam avyayam.
nidhānaṁ bījam avyayam.
gatir bhartā prabhuḥ sākṣī.
gatir bhartā prabhuḥ sākṣī.
nivāsaḥ śaraṇaṁ suhṛt.
nivāsaḥ śaraṇaṁ suhṛt.
prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ
prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ
nidhānaṁ bījam avyayam.
nidhānaṁ bījam avyayam.
We'll take a couple of recitations. Chandrakant Prabhu, want to lead?
gatir bhartā prabhuḥ sākṣī.
gatir bhartā prabhuḥ sākṣī.
nivāsaḥ śaraṇaṁ suhṛt.
nivāsaḥ śaraṇaṁ suhṛt.
prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ
prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ
nidhānaṁ bījam avyayam.
nidhānaṁ bījam avyayam. Sunil Prabhu, you want to lead?
gatir bhartā prabhuḥ sākṣī.
gatir bhartā prabhuḥ sākṣī.
nivāsaḥ śaraṇaṁ suhṛt.
nivāsaḥ śaraṇaṁ suhṛt.
prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ
prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ
nidhānaṁ bījam avyayam.
nidhānaṁ bījam avyayam.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So let's do the synonyms. Hare Krishna, Rajesh Prabhu. Welcome. So word for word meaning. Gatihi means goal. Bharta means sustainer, who sustains everything. Prabhu means Lord or the Master. Sākṣī means witness. nivāsaḥ means abode. śaraṇaṁ means refuge. suhṛt means most intimate friend. prabhava means creation. pralayaḥ means dissolution or annihilation. sthānaṁ means ground. nidhānaṁ means resting place. bījam means seed, and avyayam means imperishable. So what Krishna is saying here is, I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and eternal seed. So every word here is very prominent actually. Gati means goal. The ultimate goal is to understand and know Krishna and attain him. Then he is also sustainer. He is the ultimate support or sustainer. He is the master. He is the supreme master whom we should always serve, and we should work in such a way. We should try to satisfy him. He is the witness of everything that is happening in this world, even what we are thinking, speaking, or working. He is the supreme abode. He is the refuge or the ultimate shelter for everybody whom we can take sharan of. And he is suhṛt, most dear friend. And then he also says that he is prabhavaḥ and pralayaḥ. He is the creation and annihilation. So he is the one who creates everything, and ultimately in the material world, everything gets annihilated cyclically. So even the annihilation is him. And he is the basis of everything. Sthānaṁ, everything is resting on him. And he is also the resting place, nidhānaṁ. And bījam, he is the seed of everything. He says in many places, not only in Bhagavad Gita, but in other scriptures also. And he is so eternal seed of everything. So let's read the purport and then we can get more details. Madhu Prabhu, are you able to read?
Gati means the destination where we want to go, but the ultimate goal is Krishna. Although people do not know it, one who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march to either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of the strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Chandraloka, Suryaloka, Indraloka, Maharloka, etc. But all such lokas or planets being creations of Krishna are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. Such planets being manifestations of Krishna's energy are also Krishna, but actually they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna. To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna. For that will save time and energy. For example, if there is a possibility of going to the top of a building by the help of elevator, why should one go by the staircase, step by step? Everything is resting on the Krishna's energy. Therefore, without Krishna's shelter, nothing can exist. Krishna is the supreme ruler because everything belongs to him and everything exists on his energy. Krishna, being situated in everyone's heart, is the supreme witness. The residences, countries, or planets on which we live are also Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate goal of shelter, and therefore one should take shelter of Krishna either for protection or for annihilation of his distress. And whenever we have to take protection, we should know that our protection must be a living force. Krishna too, Krishna is the supreme living entity, and since Krishna is the source of our generation or the supreme father, no one can be better friend than Krishna. But nor nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation. Krishna is therefore the eternal cause of all causes.
Thank you so much, bro. So Prabhupada covers quite a few points here. But if you go back to the verse and see every word in the verse, gati. So gati means destination. So we are all living here in this material world and we are trying to achieve something. But ultimately many people, actually most of us, we don't know what our ultimate goal is, why we are living. Everybody is thinking that the life here is to enjoy the fullest, enjoy to the fullest extent. Ye life, what was that movie? Jindagi na milegi dobara. So you should make the life to enjoy to the fullest extent as much as possible. That's what everybody thinks is the goal of life, and that's why everybody ends up being frustrated. But according to Bhagavad Gita and according to all our scriptures, it is said that that is not the ultimate goal of life. And that's what actually Prahlad Maharaj in is one of the examples. When he's teaching his fellow students, he mentions that Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu durasaya bahirarthamanina. He says that he's so compassionate about other people that he feels pain that they don't know, na te, they, vidu, they do not know that swartha gatim hi vishnum, their real goal of life, swa-artha. So we take swartha means as a negative word, how that somebody is very swarthi means one who is always thinking of himself. So one should be swarthi in the real sense. He should know what really is good for him. But our misfortune is that we really don't know what is good for us. And that's what Prahlad Maharaj says, Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu, durasaya ye bahirarthamanina. And they are all durasaya. So he says in the seventh canto, 30, first verse something. Let's check 30. What is 30? Yeah, here. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu, durashaya ye bahirarthamanina, andha yatha andhair upaniyamana, stepi shatantra urudam nibuddha. And there, durashaya, asha means hope to enjoy. They want to enjoy in this material world. Everyone is looking for some enjoyment. Even if they get certain thing, they want more. Ye dil mange more all the time. We are always wanting more and more enjoyment, and we want to, even the so-called feel-good WhatsApp messages also I see, oh, enjoy to the fullest, because we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. But that is not the real goal of life, our goal of life, because we always think from the perspective of this limited flash of life from the eternity. This life is not only a very insignificant part of our eternity, but it is just a flash in whole entire duration of our existence. Because we have been existing eternally, this life is only a very small fraction of portion of our life, our duration. And because this human form of life is very, very rare, we have to understand what is the goal of life. And that's what he says, Nate vidu, swartha gatim hi Vishnu, that our gati, our ultimate destination is Vishnu. And that's what Krishna is trying to say, gati, that I am the gati, I am the ultimate gati. That's what Krishna is telling in today's verse. And they, durashaya, dura means very difficult. Dur ashaya, their asha are very difficult to attain because they keep on building. Ye bahirarthamanina, because they are always accepting this external material energy as all in all. And they are trying to find happiness through this material means. And that is never going to give happiness completely, because the self is never satisfied by material things. And unfortunately, we are all following the blind leaders. Andha yatha andhair upaniyamana. All the leaders are blind, and we following them are also blind. And when a blind leader is leading the other blinds, it is all going to be mess. They are all going to fall in a ditch or something. They are not going to attain the goal. So andha yatha andhair upaniyamana te pi ishatantra urudam nivaddan. Everyone by the bonds, ishatantra means by controlling of tantra of Ishwar, urudamni, this stringent laws of nature, they are urudamna. Dama means rope, and uru means they are all bound. Baddha, we are all bound. We are all baddha in this material world. And that we don't know, because we don't know what is our ultimate destination is, and we are not going in that direction. We are just haphazardly living this life, not knowing anything about what is the goal of life. So Krishna is saying that he is the goal of life actually, Gati. Then he is also the maintainer, bhartā. Without him, nothing can be maintained. He is the one who is maintaining all the living entities. So all so-called different types of living entities, what we know of, the 84 lakh species of life, 84 laksha yoni, That's what we say, 8.4 million different species of life. He's maintaining everybody, even the living entities
Yes.
in the forest or birds, beasts, everybody is maintained. They don't have to develop any economic system or anything. They don't have to do anything, but they are still maintained. They get their food, all their needs are fulfilled. And Krishna says that he is the bhartā of everything. He is the one who is maintaining everything. But unfortunately, we so-called civilized human society, we deny existence of God, and we say that we are maintaining, we will develop the economic development, we will maintain everything, and then we don't accept that even behind this economic development, the brain what we use is given by him. Whenever we create something, we cannot really create anything. We modify something from one form to other form. We cannot manufacture really anything. The so-called manufacturing plants or manufacturing industries also take material from this world and they change into different form, and that's what we call as manufacturing. But we really cannot manufacture anything. Everything is given to us by Krishna depending on the necessities that is needed for here. But we still call us so-called advanced and deny existence of Krishna, or we deny existence of God. But that's why we don't accept that he is the bhartā or maintainer of everything that exists, or every living entity, every single living entity in this material world. Not only material world, but even in spiritual world, in the whole creation, he is the maintainer of everything. He is the supreme Lord. He is the prabhuḥ. The ultimate goal is to satisfy him. He is the master, and our relationship with him is master and servant. That is the only relationship we have, and that is the only our real dharma is. For a living entity, jivare swarupa hoy nitya Krishna das. That's what it is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and in other literatures also. So he is original Prabhu. He is the real Prabhu or Lord. And that's what he is mentioning here. And we are actually, because that is our true dharma or true nature, we are supposed to serve him. But because we are envious of him and we do not want to serve him and we try to enjoy, we end up serving someone else. And that is the illusion. That is Maya. So we serve everybody else. And if we see everybody in this material world, we can check that. Everybody is serving somebody or the other. An employee is serving his employer. Husband and wife are serving each other. They are serving their kids. Kids are serving parents. And people are serving others. And if we don't have anybody to serve, we find a dog and serve him. Dog or cat and maintain that and serve him. So we are all serving, but the ultimate service that needs to be offered is to God. Even by following all the varnashrama dharma or whatever dharma what we have in this material world, ata pumbe dvijasreshta varnashrama vibhagasha swanushtitasya dharmasya samsiddhi haritoshana. So samsiddhi, the ultimate success of life is when Hari is satisfied. Haritoshanam. That's what Bhagavatam says. Ata pumbi dvijasreshta. So when Sutta Goswami is explaining this to the sages in the Naimisharanya, led by Shaunaka Muni, so he's explaining Ata pumbi dvijasreshta, oh best of the dvijas, or twice born Brahmanas. Varnashrama vibhagasha, जे वर्ण आणि आश्रम, जे आपलं वैदिक कल्चर आहे, the Vedic culture in which we are scientifically divided into 4 varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, not whimsically but scientifically, because these are created, Krishna says that they are created by me. And 4 ashramas, 4 spiritual advancement stages, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. So that is called Varnashrama Dharma. So Varnashrama Vibhagasha, Swanushthitasya Dharmasya, whatever position you are, stay in that. It doesn't matter. Even if you are following Brahmanic principles, follow Brahmanic principles perfectly. Follow Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra principles perfectly well. Or whatever stage of life you are, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, do your duties perfectly. But for what? Svanushthitasya dharmasya samsiddhi haritoshanam. So haritoshanam is the key word there. Satisfaction of Hari is the ultimate success of life. That is the ultimate goal of life. So that's what he is, the ultimate Prabhu. He is the Lord, and to satisfy him is the success of our life. And when he is satisfied, everything is satisfied. We don't have to satisfy anybody separately. Just like the example given here is yatha taror moola nishechanena trupyant yat skanda bhujopashaka. Just like for a tree, when we water the root, we don't have to water separately each branch, leaf, flower, fruit, twigs, sub branches, anything. Just by watering the root, whole tree gets nourishment. In the same manner, we don't have to worship or serve any other person other than Krishna. When we offer our service perfectly by following our material duties to Krishna, Haritoshna, then everything else gets satisfied. Everybody else gets satisfied. We don't have to explicitly offer service. That does not mean we need to disrespect anybody. A Vaishnava is always very, very respectful to everyone else. It doesn't matter what stage of life they are. So ultimate success is in Haritoshanam. And when he is satisfied, everybody is satisfied. That's why he is Prabhu. He is also sākṣī. He is the witness of everything. Everything that happens, everybody is doing, he is the witness. And that's where the problem with the Western philosophy, or even that's what is coming to our culture now in India. This life is the only life, and we don't have any previous life, or people don't understand that there is previous life or life after death. And that's why they think that, oh, whatever I am enjoying in this life, kal kisne dekha hai, maut ke baad kisne dekha hai. I'm going to enjoy by hook or crook and then make fullest of my life enjoyment. But he's saying that he is sākṣī of everything. Upadrashta cha anumanta cha bhartā bhokta maheshwara. He says in the 13th chapter, I am the upadrashta. I am the overseer of everything. I am watching you. And at the same time, I am anumanta. I am giving you permission. That we do not understand that he is giving permission. Without his permission, nothing happens. Based on whatever our strong desire is and what karma balance what we have. Based on that, he gives permission to us. But at the same time, he's trying to give us in the form of this Bhagavad Gita instruction that yes, you should try to follow this. This is for your good. And sākṣī, he is the witness of everything because he is in our heart. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto. He says that he is in our heart. He is watching every thought that comes to our mind. Forget about action and speech. Whatever we are speaking, whatever we are acting. So people may ask, oh, I did. Unless I get caught, who cares? So the material government may not catch you, but everything is recorded in the spiritual government because he is always watching us. And there is actually a very beautiful verse that we typically call as a, what is that called? CCTV verse. Because if you see, there are CCTV cameras everywhere, right? Now they are everywhere. In older days, they used to be particularly in the prison house so that they keep watch on every prisoner, what they are doing. So if in the material world, we can come up with technology where we can watch all the prisoners, what they are doing, we can watch their activities and make sure that they are not doing any blunder or they are not breaking any rules and regulations. Do you think that the God's law, the material nature he has perfectly done, does not have anything to watch us? Actually, this conversation, in the conversation in the Ajamil Upakhyan, in the 6th canto, there is very beautiful verse where it says that there are 13 different CCTV cameras put on every living entity. And they are watching us all the time by the material nature. And what are those? So Ajamil, just to give you a brief history of Ajamil's story, Ajamil was a Brahmana boy, or he was born in a Brahmana family, very nice young man. And then somehow or other, when he once went to, on his father's order, to get some paraphernalia from the forest, he went to the forest to collect some samhita or some things that were required for rituals. And on his way back home, he saw a Shudra and Shudrani, a prostitute, in a very awkward position. And then he got kind of attracted to that, and from that point of life, his life was disturbed. And then he just engaged with that prostitute and then started doing all abominable things, drinking, whatever you can think of sinful activities, particularly the four regulative principles that are mentioned in the scriptures, that no drinking, he engaged in intoxication, no meat eating, he engaged in meat eating, gambling, he engaged in gambling, no illicit connection with women, he engaged in prostitutes. So all these things. And then eventually, when he was old, Yamadutas came to capture him. But what happened is, he had named his youngest child as Narayan. And when he was on the deathbed and he was about to die, seeing those Yamadutas, he cried out loud and called his son Narayan. And as soon as he offenselessly called the name of Narayan, Vishnu Dutas came there on the scene. And then Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas, they started arguing among themselves. So Yamadutas, they had never seen something like this. The Vishnu Dutas, so effulgent personalities, they are all like four-handed Vishnu form. Uh, uh, and then the Yamadutas were confused. What happened? This is such a sinful person, and who are you? Why are you stopping us from taking him? And they said, no, because he called the name of Narayan offenselessly, he doesn't come in your jurisdiction. So you should not even touch him. And in that conversation, then there is a description about how Yamaraj, or how there are different things that are always watching, or sākṣī, or witness of every living entity. And that's where it says that Suryogni, let's actually see that verse. It's in the first itself, probably. Let me see if I get that. No. Yeah, here. So Suryogni kham maruddeva soma sandhya hani disha kam ko swayam dharma iti hete daihasya sākṣina. So here there are 13 witnesses given for all living entity. They are always watching every activity of a living being, of a soul or living entity in this material world. What are those? Surya, sun. So he is sākṣī of everything what we do. Agni. So Agni, all the heat that is around us is always watching us. Kham means the sky, the space around us, everything. And there is no area in this material world where there is no space. Kham. Marut means the air. Deva means the demigods or the devatas, all the devatas, different devatas who are controlling different functions of this universe. They are also controlling different senses in this body of a living entity. Soma means moon. Moon is watching. So if sun is watching in the morning, moon is watching in the night. Sandhya means evening. Ahar, Nisha. Ahani means day and night. And Disha, all the 10 directions. Kam means the water. Ko means the land. And Swayam Dharma. So personally, Dharma, Yamaraj as super soul. So now super soul is Krishna himself, but he gives the authority, or what do you call it, delegate Yamaraj to watch our activities. So Dharmaraj is also Swayam Dharma iti. He ete daihasya. Daiha means the one who has the living entity who has material body. Dehi. Daihasya sākṣina. These are the witnesses. So imagine all these things around us are witnessing all the activities and thoughts of a living entity. So how can one escape from his? And Krishna himself as Paramatma is in our heart. So he is always, nothing goes, for him nothing goes unnoticed. So the sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and super soul or Paramatma himself all witness the activities of the living entity. Now imagine if a thief is stealing something, or let's say he pickpockets of he picks somebody's pocket, and then he realizes, oh, there is a CCTV camera watching me. So he feels, oh, now I should be careful. So he goes back and returns to that person his wallet and then says, oh, sorry. He will make some excuse that, oh, I found this or something, but he will not steal that because he knows that he is being watched. If that is the case of a thief who realizes that somebody is watching him, or his action or his crime is being caught on camera, if he corrects himself, imagine if there are so many witnesses are always watching us, how careful we should be at every step of our life. So there are sākṣī, or Krishna himself is sākṣī of all our activities. So this is his sākṣī. Then his nivāsaḥ, he is the supreme support of everything. Jagan nivāsaḥ, he is mentioned actually in many places in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 11th chapter particularly, Arjuna mentions him as Jagan nivāsaḥ, that you are the supreme support of the whole Jagat, whole world. Because without him, without his energy, nothing can exist. As in the 7th chapter, he said, right? Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre maniganayam. That there is nothing superior to me. I am the supreme, and then everything rests on me. Mai sutre maniganayam. Just like all the pearls in the necklace rest on a thread. In the same manner, everything is resting on me. And śaraṇaṁ, he is the ultimate person of whom everyone needs to go to Sharan. He is the ultimate refuge of everything and everyone. Ultimate, and the best verse I can think of on this is the 66th verse in the 18th chapter. That is the final conclusion. Krishna says in the 18th chapter, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Give up all your so-called nonsense dharmas. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Take refuge only unto me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. I will take care of, I will free you from all the sinful and so-called pious activities. Everything, free from all the karmic reactions. And mokshayishyami, ma shucha. I'll give you freedom from everything. I'll liberate you from everything. Do not fear. Mahashucha. So he is the ultimate person of whom one can take shelter of. śaraṇaṁ. That's what he is saying here also. And suhṛt. Suhṛt means the best well-wisher friend. Even in the 5th chapter, in the last verse, Krishna says that bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram surdam sarva bhutanam. That I am Suhṛta of all the living entities, not only human beings, but all living entities. Suhṛt means the best well-wisher. Actually, in Sanskrit language is so detailed and so beautiful that for friend, there are different words used in Sanskrit. And all these words have different meanings. So like Mitra or Sakha or Bandhu or Apta or Swakiya. So out of those, Suhṛt is the highest friend because he is the most well-wishing friend. Why? Because he knows what is really good for you and he wishes that good for you, and he is the one who is trying to do that good for you all the time. Because many times our friends, even though they are so-called well-wishers, but they do not know what is really good for us, not even for them. A friend may call somebody for, let's go for a drink. We'll have a drink. I'll give you a drink. So I'll offer you a drink. You just enjoy today. So we may think, oh, he's my best friend. He's giving me drink today. But that person and the other person, they both know what is really good for him. He is actually, by offering him drink, doing harm to him, not doing any good. So that is not a suhṛt. A suhṛt is person who knows what is ultimately good for us, and he is always trying to give us that good. Even though we may ignore him all the time, we may blaspheme him all the time, we may not accept him anytime, he will always be there for us. And that is Krishna. And that's why he says, I am Suhṛt, Suhṛdam sarva bhutanam. Prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ, he is the prabhavaḥ, he is the creator of everything. From him everything emanates, as he says in the 10th chapter, 8th verse. Aham sarvasya prabho mattah sarvam pravartate. From me comes all the material as well as the spiritual world. Everything that comes, that you see, you can see around me, all the living entities, everything. I am the creator of everything. And at the same time, pralaya also, at the end of the duration of every cycle and everything, I am the one who causes this pralaya or annihilation. I am the cause of the dissolution. Mrityu sarva harashya. He is the cause of mrityu also. Even, and it is said in the many scriptures that people who do not accept Krishna as God, they see in the end of life him as death personified. And sthānaṁ, he is the one who is everything. Place, sthānaṁ, he is the one who gives us all the 14 planetary systems and everything. And nidhānaṁ, he is the resting place of everything. And bījam avyayam, he is the seed-giving father of all living entities. Avyayam, eternal bījam. And this he has said in so many places in Bhagavad Gita itself. Bijoham sarva bhutanam. Or what is that? In the 14th chapter also. I'm forgetting the verse now, but 4th verse. Pita aham bija pradapita. Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavantiya tasam brahma mahadhyonir aham bija pradapita. So he is the seed giving father of all the living entities. Sarva yonishu kaunteya. So he is the aham bija pradapita. He is the seed giving father. And this word comes many times, not only in Bhagavad Gita, everywhere. He is the seed giving father. He is the seed of everything that exists. So that's what this whole verse, even it may seem small verse, but it has so much depth, and each of these we can talk at length. So I'll stop there and then let's get some reflections. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण. एक पॉइंट जो बोलला गेला ना त्याला की दोज हू डोंट सी कृष्ण ॲज दी अल्टिमेट गॉड, दे सी हिम ॲज अ डेथ पर्सन म्हणजे काय एक्झॅक्टली?
At the end of the time, when our life ends as death, people who do not accept him as God, so Krishna says that mrityu sarva harashchaham, I come there as in the form of death and take away everything from them. Mrityu sarva hara.
Okay.
In the 10th chapter, he says that Mrityu sarvaharashcham udbhavascha bhavishyatam kirtri shirvakshanārinam smatir medadritikshama. Yeah, 34. So he says Mrityu sarvaharashcha aham. So I come, I'm all devouring death. So yeah, Prabhupada explains this here that when people may not accept him as God, but he comes in the form of death and takes away everything from them.
पण म्हणजे जे लोक भक्ती करत नाहीत तिथं त्यांनाही शेवटच्या क्षणी कृष्णाचं दर्शन होतं असं म्हणायचं का?
Darshan hota asana, he comes in the form of death and takes away everything. So they, even though they don't accept God, but they have to give up everything as the form in to the death. And Krishna says that I come in the form of death at that time. आणि
Okay.
दर्शन होतं हे म्हणणं थोडं चुकीचं ठरेल, बिकॉज आणि दर्शन जरी झालं, बिकॉज they are atheists, how would they know that he is God or anything? So he says that I come in the form of death.
Okay.
And that's actually in the 11th chapter also he mentions that kalosmi loka kshaya pravruddho. So that when Arjuna is confused by seeing his Virata Roop, and he says, I am completely confused. I don't know what your mission is. Please tell me who you are and what your mission is. So Arjuna asks him in the Virat form. He is very fearful. So that time Krishna also says that kalosmi, I am time in the form of death. And I have come here for lokakshaya krit pravruddho. Lokakshaya, I have come here to devour all these people who have gathered here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And except for you 5 Pandavas, no, everybody is going to die here. So that's what he says in the 11th chapter. So Krishna comes as death personified. So that's how it is. Yeah. Yeah, here, let's see. As soon as man is born, he dies at every moment. Thus, death is devouring every living entity at every moment. But the last stroke is called death itself. That death is Krishna. Yes, yeah, but that's very nice point. Thank you, Smile Prabhu. Does this make sense, this whole verse? Because this is very loaded verse actually, because it seems every word what he is claiming to be him, but every word has such a deep meaning behind it.
Yes. It's very deeply loaded, basically, because it eventually says even death is Krishna. There is no gati other than him, whether you want to or you don't.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, nate vidu swartka gatim hi Vishnu. That's such a beautiful verse actually. Prahlad Maharaj, a 5-year-old boy, says that people are so unfortunate that they don't know that their ultimate gati is Vishnu or Krishna.
थोडं विषयांतर करतो. ते ओपनहायमर मूवी मध्ये कुठली वर्स आलेली होती? अशीच होती का? हीच होती का?
ती 11th चॅप्टर मधली, ते मी आता म्हटलो काय कालोस्मी लोकक्षय कृत प्रवृद्ध. That's the verse he remembered. Actually, the original scientist, he remembered that time. He mentioned in his
11th chapter ची का?
11th chapter. Yeah, we are not there yet, but
Okay.
This movie?
Yeah, here. Time I am. कालोस्मि लोकक्षय कृत प्रवृद्धो लोकान् समाहर्तु मिह प्रवृत्त ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे येव स्थिता प्रत्यनीकेषु योधा. So he said, time I am, the great destroyer of all the worlds. So he thought about this, the original Oppenheimer scientist, when these bombs were dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So he thought about this,
Ah.
that he tried to get relief from the guilt what he had in his mind. And he thought that, okay, this was God's will. And then he remembered that Krishna says that he is the time and he is the great destroyer of all the world. So he is doing this destruction. So he wanted to find an excuse for his activities. But he was very depressed after that, actually. He met that time, who was the president that time? I don't remember. But he met the US president that time and he asked him that what you have done is not good. This is not the purpose what I created this form, and I feel people of blood of many people in my hands. And then he went into depression. But this is the word that he remembered.
I am the great destroyer of the world. Okay.
I have come here to destroy all people. Yep. So thank you, Prabhus. We are a little bit late today, but we will do one round of chanting.
It's a very good verse, huh? Okay. I mean that
Which one?
ninth
This
chapter.
32nd
What
verse?
we are
11,
no,
32nd?
ninth. We recently studied.
Oh, the one, yeah.
gatir bhartā.
Gatir bhartā prabhu sākṣī nivāsaḥ śaraṇaṁ śaraṇaṁ prabhavaḥ pralayaḥ sthānaṁ nidhānaṁ.
नाही याच्या आधीची जी होती ना ते you were showing की you are watched by 13 entities and
13 different entities. There are 13 sākṣī. Suryognikham maruddeva soma ahani. What is that?
yeah, here it
Soma sandhya hani disha. No, not this one. This is not here. Kokam swayam dharma iti hete dahyasya sākṣaṇaṁ. That is from the 6th canto of Bhagavatam.
it is
First
from
chapter.
Bhagavatam, no? Okay.
And 40th or 42nd verse. 42nd probably. No. Oh, I enter 4 different chapter. First chapter. 6:142. Yeah, this is the verse. And this story is also very Ajamil Upakhyan, Ajamil story, the first few chapters of this canto, Sahvajo Skanda, it starts with Ajamil Upakhyan. So very beautiful. Actually, whole Bhagavatam is very beautiful. When you read Bhagavatam, it is amazing.
भागवतम वाचायचे राहतोय ते.
It's very amazing.
First chapter I opened and it is left out. I mean, still
beautiful. Such a deep. Yeah. So here, Suryognikham marudeva soma sanyani visha. Kamku svayam dharma iti hete daihasya sākṣaṇaṁ. So people who think that Prabhupada used to quote this verse many times, and he said that when he used to go to Scottish College in Calcutta, one of his teachers, who was obviously British, he didn't believe in reincarnation, and then he used to always ask in general that, oh, whatever I did, who has seen that? I did all the blunder. Who cares? As long as I don't get caught, I am fine. Right? So Prabhupada used to say that at that time I did not know this verse, unfortunately, but he said this says that there are sākṣī in this. And again, we don't have to go to Surya Agni. Krishna says that he is in our heart. So what else do you want? So he is always watching everything what we are thinking. Upadrashtacha anumantacha bhartā bhokta maheshvara. He says in the 13th chapter, I think 26th verse or so, 23rd or 26th, that he is upadrashta. He is witness of everything. But this, even for materialistic person, when we think of in the prison house, there are different ways to watch all the prisoners. So this is the material world is a prison house, and these are all this different CCTV cameras fit for us. They are always watching us.
No, that Oppenheimer's verse itself was very clear. No? He did justify to the world that it was God's will, but then he went into depression.
Yeah.
You can cheat the world. बोलायला काही होईल, but you have to finally face yourself.
Yep. But it's unfortunate that people will always remember Bhagavad Gita for an excuse instead of using it as a guide,
Yes.
manual for their life.
Hmm.
Even that is good, but that's unfortunate that if you apply, even if you try to apply even a small thing from Bhagavad Gita, a teaching from Bhagavad Gita in our life, swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat, Krishna says in the second chapter. Swalpam, even a little,
Little.
we try to follow from his instruction. Asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat, it protects us from very abominable danger. It protects us from such a great danger. And there is no loss at all.
Exactly.
Neha vikrama nashosti pratyevayo na vidyate. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Very beautiful verse. Some of those verses are actually, they kind of give us refuge that, oh, I may not be able to do a lot and this is too much for me. No, he says that in this endeavor, that is the following the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, there is no loss or diminution. And a little advancement, swalpam, on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Trayate mahato bhayat. So whatever, we should try to do more, obviously, but if not more, whatever capacity, our capacity allows based on our situation, try to read, understand, and apply in our life as much as possible. So let's do that by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra now. Let's apply in our life.